Welcome to the Horse Talk Show.
You never heard of a talking horse?
With your host, Louisa Barton.
I want to be a famous rider. I should like to race.
Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital.
Truth is, I help horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton.
Yeah, baby.
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I'm back. How did you do while I was gone? Please comment below about Dancin Pete Rodda, your host last week. Thank you.
It was fun.
You did a great job.
I'm glad you called in when I was drowning.
Well, I felt you drowning.
Yes, you did.
I felt you drowning. I said, you better call. You better call. You better call.
I've been practicing Peterson and Smith, Equine Hospital, Larson Hay. And then they said, you got to talk about all the things that are coming up. And I'm like, and they didn't put any dates. So I'm writing in dates. And then you called and I was like, thank you.
Do we have a round of applause noise? We do. We just made it. Isaac, yes. Isaac, I'm going to call him Isaac the patient, because Isaac's very patient in preparing for a live show. And can I just say that he is really awesome.
He's spot on.
He is. We really appreciate Isaac Brocious. You don't see everybody behind the scenes all the time, but they deserve a shout out, because last week he managed very well without Gigi here and did an absolutely phenomenal job running the show himself. And can I tell you that doing a live show is never an easy thing, right?
It was a piece of cake. I could do it. I could do it in my sleep.
People say to me sometimes, they look at me and they go, "You do a live show? Really?
And
does anybody do anything live like
and
that?"
And not just a live show. She actually rolls when you see the stuff on the camera that's coming up. She's rolling it by heart. She's not even reading anything. I'm sitting there going, I got to do that next week. And
there are no prompts, in other words. But anyway, you and Isaac and Maria, you guys did a great job. You had a great guest last week. I want to thank Janice very much.
Let's do that.
I see her book on my desk. I didn't know that. I'm very excited about reading that. And I've heard so much about Pilates. So I want to tell Janice, thank you so much for being here and looking after Pete, because he needed you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
I had somebody that could talk.
Yes.
And she did invite you out to her place to do a session and then
which I'm
get
going
on the
to
horse.
do. I'm going to get on the horse and do the Pilates, and we're going to take Isaac with us. Woo-hoo. And Isaac's going to record it all for us so we can have a good laugh on the show the following week. So that'll be brilliant. We've got a great lineup for you. Actually, one of our guests tonight had to reschedule for next week. So we managed to pull a few things together to share with you about the Breeders' Cup. If you don't follow us on social media, then you get to watch this on Equus TV or hear this on 97.3 The Sky or on one of our many podcasts. You'll get to hear a little bit about the best of the best showcased at the Breeders' Cup Championships. We do have Busy Shires here with us also. For later on in the show, we're going to talk a little bit about Horse Farms Forever. But here is current photography. Henry, love you to pieces. You do a great job at this. A photo of Flightline that he took earlier this year, not at the Breeders' Cup, but it's such a great photo. I can't think of a better congratulations photo for Flightline, who actually started his training here at Mayberry Farm in Ocala, where he was trained, and April Mayberry and her team do an absolutely amazing job with their horses. Rich Strike was also a product of their training program here in Marion County. So Flightline, well done. What an incredible race. The Breeders' Cup Classic. You can go Google that and watch that race. He was coming at the end, and I was looking at him going, is he going to do it? And then he won by 8 lengths, which was just amazing. And he made it look so easy. So well done to all connections there in the John Sadler barn. And we'll share some footage of him after the race.
Get ready, Kentucky Derby.
I know. That's the next really big one in May, so that'll be exciting. Of course, we'll be there for that. So I've got some announcements and events coming up. We're going to start off with Urban Cowboy. Stirrups and Strides always have a wonderful annual event for the Therapeutic Riding Center, and Urban Cowboy will be their usual. We have a Dancing Pete here who will be at the Horse Talk Show media table making everybody dance, because they're going to be probably two-stepping and what else?
Swing dancing,
and all that good stuff. The event is from 5 to 9 p.m., and you can still get seats for $75 if you'd like to support their 501c3 therapeutic riding cause. They do an absolutely phenomenal job with children and adults with disabilities, as well as veterans. They help people, whether it would be a physical or a mental or emotional disability, and so we should support them as much as we can. And this event will be a lot of fun. There'll be a silent auction. Actually, at their silent auctions, where I got my North Florida survival camp that I went on with Edward, which was really a blast, and I got a great deal on it there. So you can get Christmas presents from the silent auction, usually great prizes. There'll be hors d'oeuvres, catering, a bar, drawings, raffles, lots of fun. And then don't forget, all by the way, on December 3rd,
Dolly's coming.
Dolly Parton Look-alike Contest is at 6:30 p.m. and you have to do a lip sync for the crown.
Don't look at me.
$20 entry fee. Also, all goes to the cause. And registration closes November 30th. So that's coming right up. Mail any payments in to Stirrups and Strides, and the address for the event is 4246 West Highway 318 Citra. It'll all be under their covered arena. And this Urban Cowboy Night will be a lot of fun. So don't forget, Saturday, December the 3rd, get yourself either tickets. Look, if you go out for dinner, 2 people and a show, you're going to spend more than $150. So why not support a really good cause? And
if you're not having fun, come find me. I will dance with you.
He will. And Diva the Dolly. I'm a judge. I'm a judge of Diva the Dolly. So no excuse. He's going to shave his face and get a wig, but he's not going to win. Okay.
That's not fair.
People might think it was a fix.
Well, yeah, I'm going to slip you some money. It's going to be a fix.
I see. Okay, I'm taking bribes again. We got some other events coming up as well. The Piranha Life Golf Tournament will be a lot of fun. This is celebrating 50 years for Piranha, and it's a fundraiser for actually several good causes. It's going to go to the Sheriff's Youth Ranch Equestrian Program. It's also going to go to help out South Florida in the recovery from Ian. There's also, still a lot going on down there. So very important causes. $75,000 in prizes. Woo-hoo. And golfing with PGA Pro Ted Potter. And a reception at World Equestrian Center, which will also be lovely. This is going to be a 5-star event. Wonderful opportunity to network and have fun, and golf. You can still sign up to be a golf team or a sponsor. And be involved in this wonderful event. And also the Dogs for Warriors, the rescue dogs, are also one of their causes as well.
Are you golfing?
I'm supposed to take a lesson with Jacinta Vasquez. I think Isaac should come and record that lesson. Because it might be funny. Yes, it might be a bit of a laugh. Definitely worthwhile. So support this. Piranha does a lot for our community. They're a huge part of this community. So definitely do what you can to enjoy this event, December 15th and 16th, coming right up, just over a month or so away. So let's get involved any way we can. And don't forget that the Spirit Walk is now going on in Micanopy at the Horse Protection Association of Florida. They had their ribbon cutting. Unfortunately, we were away for that. We were at the Breeders' Cup Championships. But they are doing the Spirit Walk now. This is a great fundraiser for the horses that they rescue, turning tragedy into triumph. You get to go and take the Spirit Walk at their horse protection farm, and you can RSVP and request to be involved in this with Christine at hpaf.org, and you can go and walk with this gorgeous minis.
I had one of my students went to it, and she said that it was just really nice.
Really?
Yeah, that the walk, the minis, everything they had set up was really outstanding for what they're doing. So
yes, that Christine is an amazing woman. She knows how to put these things together, and she's a newer person there running this Horse Protection Association, and so far everything I've seen her do has just been
spot on,
really phenomenal. Even these photographs of these horses, are just gorgeous.
What are the hope, courage?
Can't read it.
Can't read it.
It's all good names.
Yes.
So make sure you get involved in that. We are going to go to break. We're coming right back. We're going to have Dr. Adam Cayot on the show next from Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital, and then switching it up to Horse Farms Forever. Stay with us.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now, or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system, powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
Justine Dutton, Grand Prix show jumper and previously international event rider, coming to you from Notting Hill Stables in Ocala, Florida. Here at Notting Hill Stables, we use Equine Therapy International PAMF ActivoMed blankets on all of our show jumpers. These help to relax muscles and promote blood flow and circulation. We use the ActivoMed blanket on a daily basis as well as at competitions. It helps us a lot at competitions, especially before they start jumping. The tense horses really like it because it just helps to relax their muscles so they feel ready and confident to go in the ring. After the horses have jumped, we like to put it on and it really helps with recovery. I would highly recommend Equine Therapy International and all their products for all your therapeutic needs.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. We're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second segment of the Horse Talk Show, presented by who, Pete?
Peterson and Smith.
Equine Hospital. And
Let me have it. Equine, she doesn't ask me anything, and then she tells me on that one. Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
And thank you to
Larson's Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa. She puts me on the spot.
I'm terrible, aren't I? That was a test.
Failed. Yay, made a mistake.
Dancin Pete Rodda from Complimentary Horsemanship is here co-hosting with me this week, and I also have a very special guest that will be on the next segment with us, and that is Busy Shires from Horse Farms Forever. She is their conservation strategies director. There you go. I got it. Yeah. I got it. So this is the vet segment with Dr. Cayot, and we have a very interesting topic: Scintigraphy.
I'm gonna get put on
Scintigraphy.
Scintigraphy.
Yes.
What am I supposed to say? The password is.
So you guys know what Scintigraphy is? No. Oh, well, look at that. This is going to be great. You can watch it later because you can't hear it in here, unfortunately, but you can watch it later. It's nuclear scintigraphy. It's a bone scan, a diagnostic tool used to localize, I'm reading, orthopedic conditions in horses, such as bone fractures, joint inflammation, osteoarthritis, and other injuries that may cause lameness and poor performance.
But see, I was going to say that. It's just...
Right, of course you were. This is your test. So it's actually a little bit of a shorter segment than we usually do with Dr. Cayot, but there wasn't a lot to cover, but we thought that it might be very interesting for people to learn about these things as we're progressing in science in so many ways, and especially for horses. And I think that's really, really important that we're able to evaluate them better. They do a lot for us. 12,000 pound, 1,200-pound animal competing at the levels that we ask them to. So very important. If your
horse needs one of those scans, you'll know what it is.
You'll know what it is,
you don't have to Google it now.
That's right. You don't have to Google a procedure that produces pictures of structures inside the body, including areas where there are cancer cells, for example. It's used to diagnose, stage, and monitor disease. A small amount of radioactive chemical is injected into the vein or swallowed. It's very interesting. Wow. So we're going to switch it up. Well, Isaac is, because I don't switch any of those buttons. You don't want me pressing anything. Isaac's in charge of that. He's going to take us right now over to Dr. Cayot. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television here at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care with Dr. Adam Cayot. We're going to talk about bone scans. Yeah, I didn't say it.
Scintigraphy.
Scintigraphy.
So that is a handy tool that we use, and typically we use it at times of a lameness that becomes hard to diagnose. That's a diagnostic challenge. So what? Just a general synopsis of what it does and how it works is you inject the horse with a radiotopic isotope. It's a radioactive isotope that will then, as bone changes and as tissue changes, it takes up these radioactive isotopes, and the scan will then as you scan it, it shows what lights up, so to speak. So what becomes radioactive and what area, and it becomes radioactive because there's remodeling and there's change going on there. Okay, so if you have a lameness that is hard to pinpoint, that's what I send into. Dr. Lynch does a lot of these. It gives you an idea of, okay, is it something in his hip that I can't block? Is it something in the stifle that's not, that's not blocking? You can do soft tissue phase and bone phase, so you can look at both areas, and it can give you a strong indicator, certainly, of where that lameness is coming from and what's causing it. Doesn't work all the time, just like anything else, but when it does, it's very handy. So generally, we have the horse come in the day before, the horse gets prepped, it's no big deal. And then they have to stay a day or two later because they are radioactive, and they're certainly those, the technetium is what we use. It really concentrates in the urine, so the bladder always lights up on them. That's how it's excreted. So obviously the urine's radioactive, and we don't want people around that, and you need to have proper disposal and all that stuff. So that's why they have to stay a day or two longer, just so the radioactivity wears off. But certainly it can give us a good indication of what we can't diagnose in the field, or what we're having a difficult time diagnosing in the field. I mean, I've had them come in for high suspensories that I haven't been able to diagnose, which typically you can, but sometimes you can't. I've had fractured pelvises come in that just weren't right, and things like that. So kissing spine is another thing that we can see with that. We can see all kinds of issues, and certainly you can do front end, whole body, hind end, just wherever the problem is coming from. It's just another really nice tool to have and get a diagnosis, and then obviously if we have a diagnosis, then we can treat the horse the way they're supposed to be treated.
Very good. So obviously that has to be done in hospital, and the horse has to stay a little bit afterwards, just for the safety of everybody.
Everybody, that's right. So yeah, they are radioactive, and they so they have to stay and de-radiate.
Are there any side effects for the horse with that?
No, there's no side effects at all. Don't have any problems as far as that. It's done standing. You just sedate them. They stand in there. You got the big scanner that goes around and takes pictures, and then when they're done, they just go hang out until they're not radioactive anymore.
Very good. Not glowing. Thank you very much, Dr. Adam Cayot here at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television.
Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and our broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Piranha, TT Distributors, and Midnight Rose Equestrian.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
tired of the rigors of keeping your horse's water troughs clean and free of algae, you need the Drinking Post Waterer, an automatic waterer for horses, livestock and cattle. Field tested for over 40 years. The Drinking Post Waterer is the gold standard of non-electric automatic waterers. Check them out on Facebook or find them on the web at dpwaterer.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thanks to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Got Dancin Pete Rodda in the studio with us from Complimentary Horsemanship, co-hosting this week. Maria Lacasse is recovering from a weekend with me at the Breeders' Cup.
She probably ran 100 miles trying to keep up with you.
She did.
Thank goodness.
She's got to sleep and rest up because it was a busy weekend. And funny you should mention busy because guess who I have here with us? I have Busy Shires here with us. Busy is with Horse Farms Forever and a very good friend to the show. We're media partners with Horse Farms Forever, and we always love to get updates from them about what's going on in their world, but also a very important event coming up in less than a week. So, Busy, tell us, first of all, for our listeners that haven't heard from you before, tell us a little bit about you.
Yes. Well, I grew up on a horse farm.
It's a good place to grow up.
Yes, it is. It's a wonderful, wonderful place, which my mom still owns. And I keep my horses there. And
It's in Micanopy, right?
And actually, my mom's farm is in Alachua.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the family farm. And so, and I have an 8-year-old daughter, and she just got a pony. And it's just this wonderful experience to be able to share that with Nana at the farm with this funny little pony. And, you know, we go on walkabouts around the farm.
It's
and
wonderful, isn't
talk
it?
horses, and she's just bareback, and it's just wonderful. It really
You
is.
love to bring kids up around horses. It
Yeah.
makes such a difference.
It does.
So wonderful. Such a blessing. Tell us a little bit about your role at Horse Farms Forever.
So my role is I sort of monitor some of the development projects that are happening in Marion County, and one of the things that I do on a daily basis is I check the calendar on the Marion County website, and I look at all of the agendas. The Planning and Zoning Commission, the Development Review Committee, the Board of Adjustment, and the County Commission. There's a lot of detailed information, and so we actually monitor those agendas to find any potential development threat that may adversely affect the farmland preservation area.
Now, does that must involve a lot of research, obviously, because you may see something that one person might bypass and not be concerned about. You might look at it and say this needs some further review. Is that research difficult and is it very time consuming to check all of those? It seems like it would be.
Yes. And so we also have a very active board of directors, and we have Bernie Little, who also helps us review it. We have a expert land use attorney, Matthew Brockaway, and so we have this, we pride ourselves on this team that we look at it from all different angles. And then once we gather the facts, then we take a position one way or the other.
And decide what needs to be the next step, if there is a next step necessary, what that might be. What are some of the things that Horse Farms Forever would be concerned about? Obviously, building on farmland preservation area would be huge, or a plan to do so.
Right. And so I'll give you an example of one of the projects that we worked on. So in the summer of 2020, there was a proposed ATV racetrack and 1/4 mile drag strip for race cars that was proposed for Flemington, which is the heart of the
I remember that.
preservation area. Yes, it was a big deal. And so although we have the goals in the farmland preservation area, there was a special use permit process, which is a little bit of a loophole. And so we launched a very aggressive campaign to oppose that special use permit, and that thankfully the Marion County Commission also saw that it was incompatible, and they voted to deny it. But what that set us on a path of was we looked to strengthen the policies in the comprehensive plan. So we gathered together a team of the Growth Services staff, other stakeholders, and our land use attorney, Matt Brockaway, and we came up with an amendment to the comprehensive plan that ensures that any special use permit or zoning change in the farmland preservation area must be compatible with those goals. This is about compatible uses.
Right.
It's not about saying no to development or growth. It's like saying, is your farm compatible with the farmland preservation area? And that one little sentence actually made a huge effort to protect that special area for that future generation.
Right. It makes sense that it needs to be compatible, because if not, it obviously it devalues other people's property, makes that area perhaps not appealing for people to live, and then maybe is also offensive noise and that sort of thing for animals, wildlife, and so those things are very important. The compatible part is key.
Yes.
And having a watchdog over that to make sure that those things don't. It's very easy for those things to slip by. Everybody is moving at such a pace in the world that we live in. It's very hard to miss something, to miss a hearing or an announcement or something on social media. So knowing that somebody is evaluating that on a daily basis to make sure we don't miss something, and then all of a sudden there's a huge problem that's not manageable anymore.
Right.
So that is important.
Exactly. And that's example of the ATV park, and it was a 1/4 mile drag strip for race cars. So you can imagine the noise and the incompatibility of something like that. So
at my farm, no, what is going on?
Right. So it's compatible uses in the farmland preservation area, and we want to ensure that sense of place, the tremendous equine industry here in Marion County, $2.6 billion before WEC opened.
Yes, right.
So we are about preserving that land for horses, because you don't have any land for horses, there are no horses.
Right. And then there's no industry.
And there's no industry. So it starts at the base.
Yes. So exactly. Even if you're not a horse person,
right,
the equine industry is key to this area. So even if you don't own a horse or have an interest, the equine industry is a massive part of our economy. Huge jobs. Those people employed in the equine industry making money to perhaps spend money at your restaurant or your hotel or your movie theatre or your retail store. That all goes around. So if we lose that, then we actually lose everything else as well. So it's really, really important. I always like to express that, because I do have a certain audience that are not horse owners that are trying to learn. So it matters to all of us, for sure. Tell us a little bit about the summit coming up.
Yes, so we are, one of our missions is to sort of inspire the conservation of horse farms. And one of the ways that we do this is we held an annual conservation summit. And so this year's summit is based on traffic and transportation. And this was as a result of, in 2021, we conducted a quality of life survey.
I remember that.
And CEP was a sponsor. Yes. Thank you so much. And we also had 5 other sponsors of that survey. And out of that, the results, the number one issue in 2021, part of that survey was farmland preservation, preserving the natural resources and the farmland preservation area. So that was the topic of last year's summit. The number 2 issue on that same survey was traffic and transportation. So these two things go hand in hand. So that's really the focus of our third annual Conservation Summit this year. And we are very honored to have two of the most important people come and answer your questions. You know, the community has a lot of questions about the road improvement projects in Marion County. So we have the Florida Department of Transportation Secretary, Jared Pardue.
Very nice.
He's the head guy at the state level. And then we also are very fortunate to have Assistant County Administrator, Tracy Straub, to be our guest speaker, to give us sort of that more of a local focus of what's happening. So hopefully he'll give us an update on I-75, improving that, which is much needed for this community.
Yes.
The new interchange at Northwest 49th Street and how that will impact our equine industry and horse farms. And then hopefully the big question is what's going to happen to the Northern Turnpike Extension Project. So he's going to answer those questions. Yes.
Everything that we really have questions about.
I know,
so
right.
That's phenomenal. Yes, I think that as horse farm owners, those questions are definitely out there. And I know just from having lived in Marion County for 20 years now, the traffic is a different ball game than it used to be.
Yeah.
Even going up I-75, even going, sort of like Highway 200 to Highway 326.
Yes.
There are days you're like, where is all this coming from?
Yeah.
So I think that's something that we have to think about, especially as Ocala, Marion County has become more and more popular as a place for people, whether they have horses or not. People love the countryside, they love the pastures, they love the foals in the springtime. All of those things are cultural things that we offer to people, even if they're not horse farm owners. And so I think it really matters.
Yes, it does. And we want to make sure these are safe roads for people and for horses. There's a lot of horse trailers on the road, and they need wider turns. They need long turn lanes. So there's a special, road improvement project tailored for these horse trailers and these horse farms so that they can get around safely.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
We've got to take a break.
Okay.
So we will be right back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show in just a few minutes. Stay with us. Current equine microchips can migrate by up to 30%, causing difficulty when scanning. With over 70 years of collective horse industry experience, LipChip offers a new, more effective method of microchipping, partnering with veterinarians and technology experts to ensure humane and practical microchipping. LipChip was built by horsemen for horsemen. Nowadays, the performance horse industry is in need of both integrity and transparency. LipChip is the future of horse microchipping, with cutting-edge technology functional for every discipline. Find LipChip on social media, and for more information, lipchipllc.com. The future is here. The future is LipChip.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now, or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Center Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Center now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show.
You never heard of a talking horse? Well, listen to this.
With your host, Louisa Barton.
What does it feel like to be in love with a horse?
Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience.
Back in the saddle again.
Now, here's your pretty Louisa Barton.
You're fab. You're switched on. You're a bit of all right. Yes. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson's Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and shout out for Richard Larson, a great guy, him and his team, and Betsy Bavacqua and all the team at Larson Hay for everything that they've done as far as supporting our Breeders' Cup coverage, and prior to that, runs back and forth to South Florida, not just Idaho's finest alfalfa, but finest team of people that I'm so appreciative of. Woohoo! Yes. We have been chatting to Busy Shires from Horse Farms Forever, and we kind of want to wrap that up a little bit with telling you a little bit more about the event that's coming up, the date, the location, and if you can still get in to get a seat to hear all of this, right?
Yes.
So go ahead and share with us.
Okay, well, thank you. First of all, I want to thank all of our sponsors that make this possible. So we have Brookledge Horse Transportation.
Ooh, love those guys. They're great.
For the third year in a row as our title sponsor, and we also have over 60 sponsors for the event.
That's amazing.
And it's a huge spectrum from large and small farms, the business community, realtors, and Piranha. So
Piranha, of
right.
course. Good old Piranha. Oh, speaking of Piranha.
Right.
Great.
Yes.
The invisible bag.
The invisible bag. We love the invisible bag.
Cool.
This is for the goodies that you can use on that sweet little Icelandic.
Okay, thank you.
We've got a funnel.
Okay.
A piranha. Can you? Oh, you can't. You can't see that. It is a piranha funnel, and there's lots of goodies in here. There's the wipe and spray.
Perfect.
There's the Zero Bite. There's a very nice comb that you can use on your own hair if you want.
Okay.
And Ode Away.
Okay.
It's very good stuff.
Fantastic.
So goodies for you, for our guests from Piranha.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, we have about 60 sponsors for the event, and so this, we want to say thank you to making this possible.
Absolutely.
So the event is Monday, November 14th. Lunch is at Green Tomatoes Catering at OBS.
Yum.
And
That food's
starts
good.
at 10:30 or 11. And then the event, the program is from about 12 to 1:30. It is free and open to the public. There is a user pay. If you want to have lunch, you can come have lunch. If you don't want to have lunch, you can just come for the program. Seating is on a first come, first serve basis. There's about 500 seats, but due to the topic, we hope to fill the seats. That's the goal. And we will be, so Ocala Magazine is writing a cover story. So if you're not able to attend the event Monday, it will be recorded and live, so we'll make sure we have a link for that. Ocala Magazine is doing a follow-up story.
Great.
Ocala Star Banner will be there, and Equus TV
Wonderful.
will also be airing it. So we've got before event, during event, and then after event information.
If Ocala Magazine is doing a story on it, that means I'm probably writing it. Probably a good thing I'm attending.
Yes.
Unless they've assigned somebody to that, because I write there everything equine every month. So that's probably me.
Right.
Thanks for telling me.
Right.
No, that's great, though, that to get that much exposure and coverage, for a really important event, and to give people an opportunity to watch online so they can, learn about these obviously very, very important issues.
Well, I was going to say, when we were talking earlier, as a horse person, that trainer, I was like, okay, yeah, I don't want a highway to come through. But when they started explaining that, this is just an accident, that somebody said they drew a line and they didn't know there was a horse farm. They didn't know that this is where we make a lot of money and gets to the industry and all that kind of stuff. I was like, wow, maybe I should attend.
Right.
So that was
Yeah,
that was eye-opening.
It is. It's a big deal. A lot of people don't realize that everything from our horse farms to our springs to our culture to our wildlife are all at risk if we don't balance development. And nobody is anti-development because we're all aware that there are more industries than just the equine industry. There is manufacturing. There are other things out there that employ people that give them a way of life and pay their bills and look after their families. Nobody's trying to say we never want anybody to come and develop in Marion County, but we understand there has to be some of that. But it's smart development and balanced development that is important. And the incredible thing about both the CEP and Horse Farms Forever and other organizations is they see the big picture and they understand the need for those other things. And to have distributorships like we have a lot of them here that are distributing. We have huge companies here, and that's really important, but we have to make sure that we don't forget where we came from and why people love being in Marion County. The reason I'm here is because I stopped at a gas station on I-75 and I was pumping gas and looking around me going, where am I? This is like heaven on earth. There's like green fields, big trees, hills, and
beautiful horses. Wow.
Did the music come on?
It just started playing the ambiance, and it was like, where am I? This is heaven on earth.
Somewhere.
Do you want to know what I honestly thought? I thought that accidentally somehow I left Florida and didn't notice.
Wow.
That is honestly what I thought. Yeah. Because I could not believe this was Florida. And I looked around and said, this is amazing. Yeah. Wow. And it's a lot different than when I moved here. Obviously, it's a lot more developed and built up and a lot more popular and a lot more well-known. When I went to my first Kentucky Derby in 2011, I was asked, where do you live? And I said, Ocala. And they said, where? Now when I go to the Kentucky Derby and I say Ocala, you know what they go? Everybody wants to live there. Yeah. And that's only in 11 years. Yeah. So, yes. And so it is, it's a game changer. And but if it's not monitored and if there isn't a watchdog that's looking over to make sure, it won't be what it was.
Yes, and so that's one of our goals really, is to inspire the conservation of horse farms in Marion County. So every year we give out the Acorn Conservation Award. And so last year we were so honored to be able to present it to Charlotte Weber, owner of the 5,000 acre most magnificent farm in Marion County, Live Oak Stud.
Beautiful.
It is. And so this year we are honoring John and Leslie Malone, who we are so lucky to have them as owners of the iconic and historic Bridlewood Farm. It's now over 2,500 acres. So we are honoring that, sort of helping to inspire this conservation of these beautiful farms through this award. And we're so grateful to have John and Leslie Malone being able to accept that this year.
That's amazing. So, and I believe that they are the largest privately owned landowners in the
United States. Yes.
Wow. Yes, they own beautiful Bridlewood. I mean, it's just the most incredible property to even drive by. It's just gorgeous. But I've been on the farm and it's just magnificent. It's beautiful, the trees and the hills. It's just gorgeous. So we're very grateful to really key people in our county that do own large pieces of land, like the Weber family and the Malones, because that's also a game changer, I think, for us. As long as people still have those big farms and they are iconic, I think that helps to keep those wide open spaces that we so badly want to see in those areas. So amazing. So reminder one more time for the summit, which is going to be on Monday. And Isaac is brilliant, isn't he? And up it comes. It's like magic, isn't it? Let's talk transportation, a very important topic that was number 2 on the list when the survey was sent out. And these questions are very important, and having these 2 key people to speak Monday, November 14th from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at Ocala Breeder Sales on Airport Road there, 60th. Very familiar with that area where they hold the thoroughbred sales. free and open to the public with a buffet lunch available for purchase. And main sponsor, again, Brookledge Horse Transportation, a huge supporter of the Horse Farms Forever movement, and Brookledge transports some of the top horses actually in the world. They actually transported American Pharaoh, and they do an amazing job with the safety and looking after the horses and transportation process. So conversations about conservation, you don't want to miss it. If you cannot get there in person, and maybe you're somewhere else in the world and you have an interest here, or you're somewhere else in the USA and you want to tune in, you'll be able to tune in and enjoy this information, learning and gaining more information about what's happening here in the horse capital of the world. I think that's pretty important stuff.
Yes.
Getting educated, that's what's important.
Well, thank you so much, Louisa.
Busy, thank you.
Pete.
Thank you.
Yes, and Pete.
Don't forget Pete.
Sidekick on the side.
Sidekick, yes. No, I just want to thank Horse Farms Forever for being, on top of this, staying on top of this, and it being something that we know is in the best possible hands.
Thank you so much.
So
thank
you.
you.
And I can't wait to see photos of the Icelandic.
Yes.
We'll be back in just a few minutes. We're going to talk a little Breeders' Cup and share some of our adventures from the weekend with you. We'll be right back on the Horse Talk Show. To our presenting sponsor, Palm Chevrolet, and broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Equine Therapy International, Nirvana Medical Spa, the Equine Performance and Innovative Center, Summit Joint Performance, and Equine.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
Nirvana, Ocala's premier medical spa, is leading the way in great skin with all the newest in treatment options, offering prejuvenation for younger clients and rejuvenation for all ages. Nirvana knows you want to look your very best, but we've all seen people with the telltale signs of too much work. We want you to look like you, just better, brighter and younger, with all the newest and best in technology and all in the most beautiful surroundings. Like Nirvana Medical Spa on Facebook and find them on the web at nirvanamedicalspa.com. Become a better, brighter and younger you. Piranha, your trusted leader in insect control for 50 years. The official fly spray for World Equestrian Centre. From the strongest water-based equine spray in the blue bottle to the familiar and long-time favourite in the yellow bottle. Wipe and spray, we've got you covered. If you're looking for effective plant-based fly spray, then look for our Zero Bite in the green bottle. Check us out online at piranhainc.com. That's Pyranha, piranhainc.com, to learn more about Piranha's entire family of products. Piranha, it works.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equine with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equine came to life. Equine, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
With us.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor. Idaho's finest alfalfa. Louisa Barton in the studio here, back from our visit to Kentucky, here with Dancin Pete Rodda of Complimentary Horsemanship, who hosted very well for me last week.
It was fun.
And loved doing it, right? Oh, it's complimentary with an E.
Yeah, it's not free.
That's right. So let's start off with some videos from our trip.
I'm excited. I want to see all this.
Yeah,
I heard all about
it. Was great. So that's a nice one, huh? Ooh. So this is at Keeneland Racetrack, and this is in the morning, couple of days before the race. And we got to go and watch the horses galloping in preparation. We've got a few more. And it's kind of neat because you get to see them in their normal environment, like what they do every day, instead of actually just on the track.
Oh, look at that nice quarter horse. Oh, sorry.
I know, right? Actually,
no,
I'll tell you.
I like the thoroughbreds,
there
too.
are some absolutely beautiful quarter horse ponies. I saw the prettiest dark-coloured Palomino when I was there. It was just absolutely beautiful. It was a lovely, lovely looking horse. But this is really neat because this is the morning, kind of several days before, when we get you get to see them come and do their thing that they do every day.
So I watch this and I go, that's a right lead gallop. That's what the footfalls.
Well, I'll tell you, do you want to know what the challenge was?
What was the challenge?
The challenge was trying to read saddle towels and decide who was who. So there was some.
Who came up with an idea about having Ocala have a little print on it?
Actually, a very good idea.
OT, meaning they got trained in Ocala, or OB, Ocala bred, or OBT.
I know. We should talk to the Breeders' Cup about what that would cost.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
I think it would be cool just to represent.
I know. I think or horse capital of the world, HCOW.
Okay, however many letters you want to put on there.
That would be really, really cool. But just neat to see them, out there with their regular exercise rider as opposed to the jockey that gets on them for the actual.
That's a cool
Isn't that
video
beautiful?
Right there.
I know. I mean, that's just beautiful. And look at that draft horse ponying. It's so kind of, I don't know, there's just something there about that feeling of,
it just puts a tingle in you.
It does. The fog actually was beautiful for the training on the track, and just like I said, you get to see them. I know, you get to see them with their regular exercise rider in the morning rather than the jockey that actually rides them on the day of the race. So that's the rider who's most familiar with them. It's kind of.
So I guess the diehards are out there watching in the morning.
Well, it's media, and then they sell tickets to the breakfast a couple of days before, so that the regular general public who may not have a media pass can actually come in, buy breakfast, and watch these horses train. Wow. So it's like a small group, and then they do little tours of Keeneland and take people around, tell them how the whole process works.
The funny thing is, when you put it on live, I was like, I got on there and go, okay, I'll just let Louisa think I'm, supporting. And then I couldn't stop watching. I was like, what's happening next? What horse is that? And then, of course, you hear Louisa in the background making friends with everybody. Like, where are you from? Oh, hey. No.
Oh. Well, we've got a really cool cyber knife. We've got a rear video here somewhere. You actually should see it. It's really, really neat. Isaac's looking for it. There it is. He knows. He's so good, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is a horse who trained in Ocala with Susan Montaigne, and Susan Montaigne's exercise rider actually had to really kind of deal with this horse, and he's got a lot of energy that needs to be channeled to the positive, and they had quite a lot of trouble with him when he was in training here in Marion County, standing on his hind legs on a fairly regular basis, and the exercise rider really had to work with him really hard to get him to channel that energy into winning races. And he's a little feisty. Ooh. He's got a little peppiness to him that showed up that morning. So Maria Casp took a great photo of it, and she posted that because she kind of caught him when he was up. But he's.
And that's basically a bareback ride if he starts bucking. He doesn't have much saddle there.
Yes, and so the exercise rider did a very good job just pushing him on, and getting him going, not making a big issue of it, but just making him go forward. Like, if you go forward, it's a good chance you won't be on your hind legs, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's always a good way to get him moving. But I do think one of the exercise riders, it may not have been him, it may have been the day before, actually came off him, I think. So, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Talk about fun. Loose horse.
It can be exciting. And the outriders there at the track are amazing.
Well,
That's
where I have the background more. I've been to rodeos. I have buddies that are pickup guys, bullfighters, stuff like that. And then when I saw the outriders that would go after, it's like, oh, okay, I can relate to that. My buddies do that at the rodeo. So,
yeah, go after them.
Hats off to you guys.
Yes, I'll tell you what, some of the
Cowboy
outriders
up.
I've watched catch those galloping horses are amazing.
Those great quarter horses taking off for that quarter of a mile can catch them.
Catch them.
They can't keep with them for a mile or more.
So if you're listening on the radio or the podcast and you want to see some of these horses in action, you can go to the Horse Talk Show Facebook and watch them, or you can go to Equus Television and find the Horse Talk Show and watch them. So if you're listening on the radio or the podcast and going, but I can't see it, we can help you out with that.
It was a horse. He was moving it. No, I'm joking. We can't describe the whole thing.
We got some more videos. We're going to let Isaac pop those up, and this is training in the paddock. So the paddock is where they take the horses from the barn to prep them for the race, and they do a training in the paddock basically because a few days before the race they want the horses to see people in the paddock. And there's Nest, of course, a top horse. She didn't win her race this weekend, but she is a phenomenal racehorse. And you can kind of see a lot of media and milling around. And this is great for the horses to have the experience in this paddock. This might be the first time they were at Keeneland for some of these horses. So kind of taking them in, letting them see the paddock, see the people moving around in there, see the photographers taking pictures. And so that's a good experience for them.
Behind the scenes.
This is at Cassie Racing. Mark Cassie, of course, we call him Ocala's Mark Cassie, because we like to claim him. He's in the Hall of Fame in the USA and in Canada. And this is his barn at Keeneland. And we always know him by the red, everything's red. The stall guards, the buckets, everything is red.
Those letters right there on those stall guards would be nice to know that those are Ocala trained or bred. And that would be fun.
You're right.
I know, I am.
So when you see the little stall card that's purple, some of these stalls, you'll see there's a little stall card that's purple. That has got the horse's name, the trainer's name, and it's got the race that the horse is in at the Breeders' Cup. So the stalls that don't are either horses that are traveling with this team or they're in the undercard races for the day. So you see that little purple card right there? That gives you the race the horse is in. That way you know it's in a Breeders' Cup race, because there are other races on this weekend of races that are not Breeders' Cup races that happen, which is great. So this is Wesley Ward's barn.
Now
and that is Golden Pal.
Is this an Ocala?
Well, actually, no.
Okay. But we still like him.
We love him,
okay.
Yes. So Wesley always goes to Ascot. Here's a Breeders' Cup blanket. So when you win, this is what you get. And this was Wonder Wheel, who won the Juvenile Fillies. Very exciting for Mark Cassie. So I was thrilled to see that. We always love that. This is Bill.
Do you know how they get their names? Like, how did they come up with their name?
They apply to the jockey club. Wonder Wheel.
It would be fun to find that out.
I'll say that for you in a minute. This is Bill Mott, Hall of Fame trainer Bill Mott's barn. And all these are saddle towels for all his horses that are racing this weekend, the Breeders' Cup weekend. But this horse right here, this horse right here, actually trained in Ocala with Michelle Hemingway. And this is Warlike Goddess, and she actually ran in this race as the only female horse against the boys this weekend. She didn't win, sadly, but she always puts up a good fight. Warlike Goddess, she trained with Michelle Hemingway. This is Bob Baffert's barn.
Okay, that's the gray-haired guy.
Yeah, the white-haired guy. The famous guy. So this is Bob Baffert's barn. I think that's Tiber getting a barn right there, getting a bath, and that is getting a barn. Yes, so that is the backside, and I these are both Bob's horses that were racing this weekend. But this is.
Did you get to talk to him?
Actually, I only saw him briefly for about 2 minutes, one of the mornings of the gallops. The rest of the time, I didn't see him. He was definitely very incognito this weekend. Less than I've ever seen him. I didn't see him hardly at all. But this is the back side of their barn. The other side's the front. But this is where they give them a bath.
So they're sponge bathing them.
Yes, they're giving them a nice bath and clean up. They're at the Keeneland racetrack. So pretty neat to see Bob's horses out there and after their training. So for the morning, we are going to break. We have the last segment of the show. We're going to finish up with some more from the Breeders' Cup Championship weekend. Well done, Pete. We'll be right back.
Thank you to our presenting
Thank you.
sponsor, Palm Chevrolet, and broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Equine Therapy International, Nirvana Medical Spa, the Equine Performance and Innovative Centre, Summit Joint Performance, and Equine.
Hi, I'm Alan Davies with Equine Therapy International. Today we're at Engineered Equine Performance, celebrating the new saltwater chilled treadmill. This particular chilled equine saltwater treadmill is a game changer. As you can see, the finest materials are used. The filtration system, coarse, fine filtration, no chemicals. We use UV, ozone, combination of filtration to keep the highest water chemistry standards. Being a saltwater unit, only the finest stainless steel and materials are used. That's important when it comes to longevity and cost of service over the life of the unit. This unit also has integrated massage jets with fine bubbles and coarse air bubbles for the therapy. The control system on this is Siemens industrial grade, top of the line technology, straight from Germany, but also serviceable here in the US.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Centre Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Centre now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Summit Joint Performance, promoting a healthy, thick synovial fluid, decreasing inflammation in the joints and improving the cushioning properties of the cartilage pads. All age horses can benefit from Summit Joint Performance.
Maria Lacasse of Midnight Rose Equestrian's background is in natural horsemanship and dressage principles, with a main focus on maintaining a balance of communication and correct biomechanics between horse and rider. Come to her farm, or she'll come to yours. Allow Maria to help you and your horse to unwind and balance to increase performance so that you can both be the best you can be together, to build a lifelong partnership of success. Maria Lacasse of Midnight Rose Equestrian is a graduate of the Equine Natural Movement School for Equine Structural Integration and a Florida School of Massage graduate. Find Midnight Rose Equestrian on social media and on the web at midnightroseequestrian.com and book your massage for your horse and you right away. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the last segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. And Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest
alfalfa.
See, you got it down. He's trained. That's it. I can take 6 weeks off.
No, not yet. No.
So we've been talking about the Breeders' Cup, and we've been sharing a little bit with you about that this past weekend, and some of the wonderful experiences we got to have, and the barns that we were able to be in. Really like to share the backstory of things that happen. So much so we see media on the front side, and you hear all the same things about the race. You know, the races.
He was really in front at the beginning, and he took us some time to get through.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to go on.
You're not going to go on?
No.
Okay. So we got a few more videos for if you're joining us on the television, and this one is Wonder Wheel. And this is after she won, and they gave me some mints to give her. So I got to visit with her and tell her well done. And there's her blanket. And this is one I'm going to get Isaac to make into some funny little edit on this, because it's really cute. It's like, she's like, look, I won. There's my blanket. I won. Give me my supper. Yeah. And then guess what comes? A supper. And so well deserved. And she's actually back in Ocala now at Cassie Racing, because she's resting up now for the remainder of the year and getting a little bit of time off. And she'll be
I won that.
Yeah. Hey,
where's my food?
Yes, there's my food. So pretty cute. Cute little video there. And this is David Carroll. This is one of Mark Cassie's trainers that work for him. And dear old Wonder Wheel there is like, can I please eat the flowers? I actually have a flower from that blanket right now. This is Antonio Sano. He is the trainer of the Florida bred Simplification, who is quite a neat horse. Antonio is an absolutely wonderful guy. Him and his sons, he has 2 sons who work for him. And he is just a fantastic guy. This guy has an amazing story. He was kidnapped in Venezuela, where he's from, before he ever moved to America. In fact, he moved to America because he was such an elite trainer in Venezuela. They knew he had money, and they actually held him ransom for $300,000, and his family had to find a way to get him back. And that's why he moved to America. And Tammy Bobo actually owns this horse, Simplification. And you know my little brown and white donkey and my mini horse came from Tammy Bobo.
Oh.
And Tammy Bobo actually owns that horse. So pretty kind of a neat connection there. But she lives in Ocala. She has First Finds Farm here with her husband. And Antonio is the trainer for her at the track. And him and his sons are like family. In fact, in the Kentucky Derby, as Simplification ran in, we went for dinner with them after.
Wow. Can I touch you? Wow.
They're just amazing people. They're wonderful people, you know.
Hey, that's awesome.
They are.
You know all the people.
I do. I'm like, you know all the people in your world, right?
That's right.
Exactly. So, you see, it's just, we've been visiting the races for a while. Isaac, do we have some more? Oh, we have some more. Look. This is CZ Rocket, who is also a Florida bred. And CZ Rocket actually ran second in his race. So really, really cool horse with a great, has had an absolutely amazing career actually so far, and is beautiful. Look at the face and markings. Gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. And this is Louisa Barton. She's been running for a while, and
yeah.
she's now taking a break. You just think she's being nice to the horse.
Treats, yeah, taking a break. This is Golden Pal at Wesley Ward's barn, Florida bred. This horse actually has a very interesting story, so we'll keep this video up. We may not show you another one just for a minute, because Golden Pal is a Florida bred that belongs to an amazing guy. His name is Randall Lowe, and his wife Brenda. And I met them for the first time this weekend. I'd never had a chance to talk to them before, although I'd wanted to. And Randall made me laugh because when I met him, I didn't expect to meet an Asian guy, because Randall Lowe does not sound like an Asian name. And he said, you didn't think I was going to... I said, no, actually, I didn't. I really didn't. But he was not welcomed in the racing world to begin with.
Wow.
And was kind of shunned, and he shared a little bit with us about how that made him feel. But this is a guy who, on a small scale, became a breeder of racehorses. And this horse has won 2 Breeders' Cups. He won the juvenile, and then he won the same race for the adult horses the following year on the turf. And he went for his 3rd win, and had he won this weekend, he would have been the only male horse to ever win 3 Breeders' Cups.
Wow.
Unfortunately, he didn't. He actually...
Where did he place?
I don't know. He wasn't on the board, but he should have been a non-starter, because he was in the starting gate, and apparently he tried to rear, which he's never done before, which is interesting. One of the things he's famous for is an amazing start. Really fast turn of foot going out of the gate, so very odd. But the starter, the guy that was in the gate with him, held on to his reins, so he couldn't start. And when he let go, he was already behind the field. And one of the things that's made this horse win is his fast turn of foot coming out of the gate. So the stewards are looking into making him a non-starter. If they make him a non-starter, all the people who bet on him get their money back.
Oh, wow.
He's considered a non-starter then, which is what it should have been, because he was held and he couldn't run.
Whoa.
So, but look what he thought about that. I'm still cool. So, but he is an amazing horse, and he has won 2 Breeders' Cups, and he has been purchased by Coolmore Ashford Stud in Lexington, and he left this barn to go to Coolmore, which is where American Pharaoh and Justify stand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he's going to go and hang with the big boys and have some babies, and yeah, pretty amazing. So, do we have any more videos? We do. Oh, we do. We have the horses going up to the Classic. So this is the Classic race, which of course is the last Breeders' Cup race. It's the big deal race of the weekend, and this is Flightline walking up to his race, and Flightline is actually the first horse, and then following behind him there are a group of the rest, with Tiber finishing up at the very back as the last horse that goes up. But I got to follow him up the hill.
How many steps did you do each day?
I don't know. I should have logged them down. Miles and miles and miles. I'm sure I definitely walked off all that good Kentucky bread pudding that I ate. That was phenomenal.
Now, this is like really high-tech TV here, where you get behind the scenes.
Yeah, sorry, this video is a little bit blurry. I apparently was running up when I was doing this, and must have been wiggling all over the place. This is Flightline stall. This is after he's won the race, while he's on his way back. And I couldn't believe how deep the straw was. I'd never seen a padded stall like that. So I had to just fall in it and check it out.
Oh, no.
But look how deep that is. And so they told me apparently he's so full of himself that he rolls around kicking and kicking and kicking. So they have to pad the whole stall here. So this is the winner of the Breeders' Cup Classic stall.
Well, of course, that's what it looks like. It's a kingdom in there.
It's a kingdom. And so I had to go and fall in it, and that was quite an experience. Look at that straw. Can you believe that? That is bedded down like. And this is Flightline. After he won the Breeders' Cup Classic, there he is.
Ma'am, please get out of my stall.
Yes, please get out of my stall. And there he is, settled in for the night. I was 3 feet from him, and there he was having his hay and settling in. And here he is actually having his bath after he won.
Oh, wow.
So I was in the barn right behind them as they're giving him a bath after he won the Breeders' Cup Classic. So by 8 lengths, I might add.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
It's amazing watching him. Just an incredible horse, trained by April Mayberry. And then, of course, Lip Chip is actually working with D. Wayne Lucas, who is in the Hall of Fame, of course. He's probably the most well-known trainer in the USA. Secret Oath won the Kentucky Oaks this year. She ran 5th in the distaff. She didn't not run at her usual rate, but it's a big deal to be at the Breeders' Cup running. So well done to her and her team. And we got to show off some Lip Chip goodies because they're partners with D. Wayne Lucas now, and to get to meet the assistant trainer Bass Nickel and have a kiss with Secret Oath. Pretty special. So anyway, we got the sound. It's the end of the show. It's time to go. Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.
Awesome show. Thanks, Isaac. Whether you're in Ocala, Marion County or not, happy horsing around. Until the same time next week.